What's up, everybody? Happy Friday. Hope all you're having a great day so far. First of all, getting into this episode of GH, I understand where Jordan coming from. Like, she's the type of person, she's law and order. You know what I mean? Like, I get it. She likes to do the right thing all the time. I get it. I totally get it. But her keep harping on this whole kidney situation, I have to agree with Curtis on this. I mean, what's done is done. You know, she sat down, she talked to Ryan, she needs to let it go. You know, there's no need to keep on thinking about it and stressing about it. It's like, let it go. You have the kidney, you have your second chance at life. Be grateful, be happy, leave it alone. Because if you keep digging into this and stuff, everybody's house of cards is going to eventually fall. Finn can go to prison. Kevin can go to prison. Liz can go to prison. Franco, everybody can go to prison. If this truth comes out. Curtis, they all can go down. You know what I mean? But I do believe that Curtis, you know, he got rid of any physical evidence that could tie him to this, hopefully. Hopefully he got rid of everything. Just in case, you know, somebody starts one day asking all the right questions and get all the right answers. There's nothing physical that can tie you. It's just he said, she said at that point. So hopefully he got rid of everything. I just think after her conversation with Ryan, I feel like that's the closure that should make Jordan feel better about having the kidney, and she can move on from it. So that way this topic doesn't have to be brought up again. Because if it's brought up again, a hell of a lot of people can go down. And that's what you don't want. You know? Like, she just needs to let it go. I know some people saying, well, it wasn't right. Who cares? Ryan murders people. You know? He kills people. He does a lot of evil things. And this is the one good thing that he did that he was forced into doing. So I don't have a problem with it. Shit, if his evil ass could save somebody, why not? Instead of always taking a life, this time he was forced to continue a life. You know, I don't see an issue with it. And I think that's why I feel Jordan needs to just let it go at this point. So anyway, moving on from that. I felt bad for Lulu. I really did. You know, she's at her nephew's birthday party. Everybody's having a good time. And, you know, all she can think about is Dante. And he's missing everything that's going on with their family. You know, I feel bad for her. And to top it all off, she's now been served with divorce papers. I mean, I think Dante filing for divorce, he probably thinks that he's doing what's best for her, what's best for the kids. You know, in his mind, he thinks that he's just want her to move on. Because at this point, he doesn't know when he's coming home. And he probably feels like it's not fair to her and the kids to keep their life in limbo. Because as you can see, everybody's life is moving on. You know, everybody's life is continuing. People are still having birthdays and birthday parties and babies and getting married. And everybody's life is moving. It's continuing to go on strong. And he can't sit back and allow Lulu to sit in limbo and her life to just be stagnant while he's away. And he doesn't know how long he's going to be away. So I totally respect it. I don't like that they're getting a divorce, but I respect it. And you know what's funny? I read some comments and some people were blaming Frank Valentini for this. It depends on what you're blaming him for. You know, because all of this is not on Frank. Frank is not the head writer of this show. He's the executive producer who, of course, has influence over the storylines. But this is all what you're seeing right now. This is all the head writers. Even Shelley Altman recently did an interview talking about why they're writing this storyline. Basically, it's to show that life moves on. That's why they're writing the whole divorce. But also, they have no intention right now of recasting Dante or bringing Dominic back at this point. So the next best thing is divorce. You know, that's the only way that they can write it at this point. They can't just keep having they don't know when the Dante character is going to come back. They don't know that. So you have to free Lulu up at this point. You have to. I do blame the head writers and Frank Valentini, you know, for Dominic leaving the show, because I felt like that could have been prevented. big part of the reason he left was because they weren't writing him a storyline. He wasn't, a main player in none of the storylines. He was always secondary or whatever the case may be. And that's the main reason he just decided, you know what, let me move on. Let me do other shows and other movies. Let me just move on. I can't say I blame him. At the end of the day, business is business, and you have to do what you have to do for your career. And he did what he felt was best for his career and for his family. I can't fault him for that. I felt like I said, on GH's part, I felt like they could have compromised and figured something out, gave him a storyline. You know what I mean? Like, he's the son of Sonny Corinthos, for crying out loud. You can't write him a storyline where he's the lead in the story? I mean, maybe an enemy from the past, something. Throw him a bone. Same thing happened with Joshua Morrow from The Young and the Restless. I mean, what people may not know is Joshua was talking about leaving Y&R last year. Mind you, he's been on the show now for 25 years. And he was talking about leaving last year because he felt bored and his character had no direction. And that's when they put him into the JT storyline and finally gave him some edge and stuff. GH could have did the same thing for Dante, for the character, and for Dominic. They could have did the same thing. They could have revamped, gave Dante a little bit more of an edge, gave him more things to do, more front burner stuff. They could have done that, but they chose not to for whatever reason, and that's their prerogative, so life moves on. It sucks, that her and Dante have to go through a second divorce, but it's necessary, storyline-wise. So moving on from that, I'm actually happy that Nina finally was able to apologize to Willow. And Willow, she gracefully accepted the apology. I like that, It was a long time coming because Nina finally took responsibility for her actions. I like Cynthia Watros in the role of Nina because I feel like she's making Nina her own. Because when Michelle was playing the role, Michelle was good in the role. But her take on Nina was more a little bit unstable and, mean girl-like. But Nina, under Cynthia Watros, has matured a bit. She's more sane. She's not, she's less unstable. So I like it. I think that's what a lot of recast people do. Like, when you're recasted and somebody new comes into an already established role, that's what they try to do. They try to bring, they try to make the role their own. And that's what Cynthia's doing right now. And I've noticed it. She's definitely made it her own. I did love seeing my girl Hayden at the birthday party, bringing Aiden a birthday gift. And of course, Liz wasted no time getting all up in Hayden's business about her and Jax and stuff like that, and then her and Finn. And, Hayden made it clear that her and Jax, it's not what Liz thinks it is. It's not as major as Liz basically making it seem. I love that sister relationship that her and Liz have been portraying lately and stuff like that. Liz being all up in her business and stuff. I love it. I did like the little back and forth between Liz and Hayden and Nina. That's a dynamic duo. I love seeing scenes with the two of them. It's been beautiful. I thoroughly enjoyed the birthday party of Aiden. I thought it was well done. And I did like the birthday present that Cameron got him. Basically got him some tickets to pastry show or a baking show or something like that they're filming in Port Charles. So he got him tickets to that. I thought that was nice of him. I thought that was a beautiful gift. Of course, Liz was all suspicious, trying to wonder where the hell Cam got the tickets from. I'm like, Liz, chill out. I doubt he stole them or did anything illegal. Calm down. You don't need to know every little thing. Certain secrets should remain secret. I mean, for all he could have called Jocelyn and, asked her to ask Jax or Sonny for a favor, and they got the tickets. It's not that difficult to do. I mean, he does know some influential people. He knows some people that know some people that know some people. You know what I'm saying? So it's not that difficult. And besides, Laura's the mayor of Port Charles. Who's to say he didn't call Laura and get the tickets from her? She is the mayor. I just thought the party was nice. I thought the drum set that Laura and Lulu got Aiden was beautiful. You could tell it's definitely going to create a bit of a headache in the household. That's the worst present you could give a child. And I'm saying it in a fun way. It's the worst present you could give a child. Drum sets. You know how long they going to be... You know how long they going to be banging on that damn thing? All hours of the day and night? No. Franco and Liz might as well invest in some earplugs. Cause I'm tell you right now, he gonna be banging on that thing all day. Like, I agree with Franco though. Franco said it too. He was like, you know, Liz thought Cameron getting a car was gonna give her a headache. Imagine this boy playing them damn drums all hours of the day. That's the headache. I'm just saying. So anyway, moving on from that. Shiloh, little slippery ass, done got bail thanks to Daisy's stupid ass. This girl is so delusional, it's sad. She used all of her trust money to bail Shiloh out of jail. And now her parents cut her off financially. How idiotic do you have to be? Like, you used all your trust money to bail this idiot out. Then Shiloh sitting there basically telling her he need more money for a lawyer. She ain't got no more money. She done used that money to bail you out. Her parents cut her off. She has nothing else to give. So now, Shiloh wants to go to plan B, C, D, E, F, G, all these different plans. Basically, he's trying to get to all the people that's going to testify against him. Starting with Christina and Harmony. He's trying to get them to not testify so that way the case will crumble. Because he doesn't have money for good legal representation. The feds have basically seized his money, his bank accounts. Because you remember he transferred some offshore money to his regular account, so the feds have control over that now. So basically he's penniless at this point. So he can't use any money to pay for good legal representation. So at this point he has to go to other options, which is trying to get Christina and Harmony to back off and not testify. Christina, I'm glad she you know, stood her ground. She basically told him to go to hell. She's still going to testify. And Harmony, he went to Harmony. Now, I was nervous about Harmony. Christina, I knew Christina was staying tall, but Harmony, that was a whole nother story. When he went to go see Harmony, I was nervous because I had a feeling that Harmony was going to crack. You know what I mean? I love the fact that Harmony has finally found some common sense and has decided to no longer back DOD and Shiloh, but I was nervous at first. But she stood her ground too. I was proud. Harmony stood tall. And she basically told him that she's going to make sure he pay. And he's not going to wiggle out of these charges. I think Shiloh was surprised at that. I don't think he was shocked that Christina stood up to him. He was more so shocked that Harmony finally stood up to him. I think that was the kicker for him. Shiloh is basically starting to sweat at this point. He has no money. Nobody's willing to help him. His charm and all his influence is no longer viable. So he must be shaking in his boots at this point. Because he knows that now is a real time that he can go to prison. Nobody else is willing to help him. Then he had the gall to try to walk up to Drew and try to get sympathy from Drew. And keep talking about those EOQ shares and stuff. You can't access those stocks. It's going to be tied up in court at this point. Because it's going to be tied up in probate court. So that could take months. That could take years. So he's screwed at this point. And Drew's not going to give him a dime. Speaking of Drew, I did like the scene with Drew and Jason. I loved the scene with Drew and Jason. Like, they're finally, you know, starting to be close and act like brothers and stuff like that. I like it. I wish that it continues. I said this before and I'll say it again. As much as I love that Drew and Jason are bonding and, you know, getting to know each other a lot better and working on this brother relationship, I always hold out hope in the back of my mind that one day AJ will come back and him and Jason can finally bury the hatchet. Something that they never really had the option of doing. But I'm just glad that, you know, Jason's getting along with at least one brother in a way that he never got the chance to get along with the other. I mean, he had chances, but time ran out. You know, so I'm happy that he gets to, you know, get along with one sibling. Drew, I said this before and I'll say it again. Drew needs to get his memories back. I understand that he doesn't want them back because it would replace his new memories. I get it. But in the back of his mind, he's always going to keep wondering his relationship with Kim from back in the day. He's always going to wonder about his friendship or sort of friendship with Shiloh from back in the day. Like, he's always going to wonder about these things. Like, what's the connection? He's always going to wonder that. There has to be a way for him to get his old memories back, but also keep the new memories. Has to be some kind of way. I mean, they need to either recast Patrick real quick and bring him back, or call CBS and ask if they can borrow Jason Thompson for a few days to do a procedure or something, and he can reprise the role of Patrick Drake. They're going to have to do something, or at least get Matt Cohen back for a few days. He's a brain surgeon. Get him back, you know, something. Because they have to figure out something, because I feel like his memories are the key to a lot of issues right now. Not only solving this Shiloh problem, but it's probably the key to whatever happened between him and Kim back in the day. Because a part of me still don't believe everything that she says that happened back then. I still kind of don't believe it. It might be some things that she left out. So I think he should attempt to get those memories back ASAP. And who the hell was Sonny talking to in Spanish? Because Sonny had got a phone call and he was talking in Spanish and stuff. Who the hell was he talking to? Because, you know, I'm not fluent in Spanish. I mean, I took Spanish class in high school like 2-3 times, but I'm not fluent in it, so I don't know what he was saying. So for all my Spanish speaking subscribers out there, if you knew what he was saying, let me know. It was a little freaky at the end though, when it was some type of dream, or it was like a flashback basically of Drew when Steve Burton, when he had his old face. So he had, you know, Jason's face back then, and it was some type of flashback where he was telling Hank to wake up and stuff. Shiloh, he was basically telling him to wake up, and then Shiloh woke up and said hi to Drew, and it was a memory, but Steve Burton was playing Drew because of the old face and stuff. So this is why Drew needs to get his memories back. We need to know what the hell happened back then, and we need to know ASAP. Like, what was the issue? Anyway, I don't blame Willow for being upset and so worried about Shiloh being out on bail and stuff, because she feels like he keeps escaping the justice system all the time. But he's not escaping this time. He's desperate at this point, because he has no money to pay for good representation. People are testifying against him that he can't get to not testify. He's done at this point, and I think he knows it. So I don't think she should worry too much about it. I'm just saying. But that was a freaky little scene though, between Ryan and Harmony and stuff like that, where she was basically throwing away the DOD book, and Ryan came up talking about, oh, you shouldn't throw away books and stuff. Ryan is a little simple ass. It's always fun to see Ryan. I swear, he's so demented. But pretty much that was. I wonder what Shiloh meant by when he said one day him and Laura would be working side by side. I wonder what he meant by that. Hopefully, he probably, knowing him, he probably got another trick up his sleeve. But anyway, hit the comment section. Let me know what y'all thought about today's episode. I will see you all later. Hope you have a wonderful weekend. See you all Monday. Peace.